Have you ever seen one of those quick change artists? You may have seen them on television or whatever. I don't know how people make a living doing this, but they get on a stage and they're putting on like a one person act and they play different characters and very quickly they change clothes. They become one person and then just immediately they become another person, and it's kind of tricky how they do that, and you're just kind of blown away that you're thinking these people really put a lot of time and effort and practice into pulling this off, and indeed they did. But a narcissist, they're kind of a quick change artist. Only it's not the clothes that they are changing, it is their personality. What we're talking about are 7 things to look for when you are dealing with a narcissist and you're wondering how is it possible that these people can be so charming when you first meet them and something happens. Everybody, most narcissists I've met, put it this way, most everybody views them as being really cool people. I mean, they're just nice, charming, wonderful to be around. They really like them, and that's by design. The narcissist does that on purpose. He or she is, in fact, putting on a mask, putting on a performance, and the world is their audience, and they pull it off. If they didn't pull it off, they wouldn't be very good at what they do, and some of them, of course, are better than others. But, most every narcissist I've ever encountered, generally speaking, people who have not been burned by them, not been taken advantage of them, or hustled by them, whatever, they think they're great people. And it's all an act, but they can change overnight. So look out for that immediate change. Just one minute, this is a great person, everybody knows it, and the next minute you're seeing a different side of the person. That is the undercore, the real person that you missed maybe for weeks or months or sometimes years. Well, the second thing you want to look for is this. You want to look out how they treat other people, because if they are treating you with, with kindness and courtesy, but somebody else they're not treating that way, maybe they're trash talking somebody or being rude or discourteous to someone, or maybe they think somebody else is just not worth their time. They're kind of patronizing, putting somebody down, and maybe they do that to a lot of people, but you think, well, I guess I'm special because this person really, really likes me. Well, guess what? The quick change artist could come out, and suddenly you become one of the bad guys in the eyes of the narcissist. So the first thing is a quick change artist got to watch for that quick change personality, and the second thing is watch out how they treat other people for the long haul. Number 3 is be helpful to an extreme. Now, most narcissists that I've encountered, not all of them, but most of them, they want to, be your buddy, be your friend. They're wooing you into their sphere of influence, and one of the ways they do that is they're just very helpful. There's something you need. They're there to help you. And they have a connection for you. Maybe it's maybe they can help you find a job. Maybe they can help you find someone to do something around your house. Maybe you need some car repair done or whatever. They know somebody. Hey, I can help you out with that. And next thing you know, you're convinced this guy is a good guy. Now, just because somebody does that, this doesn't mean they're a narcissist. But this is a tactic, a trick that narcissists will use. And you see, okay, now we're beginning to compound several different things. And when you see these all together, it could just be a quick change artist, or it could be just a nice guy. But nice guys tend not to be quick change artists. I mean, everybody loses their temper now and again. You know that. You've done it probably, I assume. But, all right, so things are compounding. Number 4 is they are supportive to an extreme. Now, one of the things I noticed during the 12-year tenure when I was a pastor of a church is there were some people in the church who weren't very supportive. In fact, they just made it a point not to be. I don't even know why they bothered to show up at church. They just fought all the time. But there were other people, fortunately a majority, who were supportive. But then there were some other people, this very small group of people, maybe 1 or 2, who were supportive to an extreme. And it never occurred to me that that was by design, that they were trying to win my favor so they could manipulate me. But in the long haul, over the long time, I found out, some of these people I think are narcissists. They are psychopaths. They are putting on a show. They are being supportive, not because they support me, but because they are supporting themselves. So they are just using me. So you may find that there is a narcissist in your life, and this person is very supportive. They get behind you, and maybe it's someone at work, So I know how things go at the workplace. People tend to have these little cliques, and next thing you know, you got these little fights going on and the social contention between one group and another, or between individuals, and it's nice to have somebody who is on your side to support you. That's just a part of human nature, and a narcissist will exploit that. They will come alongside and let you know that you are his guy, that he is on your team, or maybe it's a woman. She is on your team, she is going to support you. But it's to an extreme. I mean, it's almost ridiculous. And just because, again, someone is supportive and helpful doesn't mean they're narcissist. It could be because they're supportive. Could be because they're just helpful. Some people just like you. It's not that they're trying to manipulate you, but hey, you got a friend. But you got to be careful, because these, those friendship tactics are the tactics that narcissists use to convince you, to sway you into their sphere of influence so they can control you. Number 5, and this is a big one that I talk about a lot on this channel, and that is they are history hiders. So you've got this person in your life you later find out is a narcissist. You're wondering, this person was so charming and so convincing, you never imagined in 1,000 years that this person had a criminal history or had a history of defrauding people or of scamming people. Turns out the guy's a grifter, or maybe the woman is a grifter. And it could be that, they've got a history of, maybe they've been divorced multiple times and they didn't say anything about that. Maybe just once they didn't say anything about it. Or maybe they have children. They didn't say anything about it. When you get into a love relationship, well, typically, people who truly love you are open and honest, and they don't intentionally hide their past. They want to be just upfront with you. But a narcissist, not so, because they want to present the perfect person, or as close to it as they possibly can. So if they have anything in their past that you may consider a negative, they just hide it until it's too late, and then you find out. Now, we've talked about that in other videos. We're not going to belabor that in this video, but just be on the watch out for these people who have a history. So before you get too tight with someone, I'm talking about getting married to someone, or forming a business partnership, or bringing somebody on board your life as a close relationship, you might want to check out their past. And who knows, maybe there's nothing there. Maybe they are truly just good friends and there's nothing else to it. Then again, maybe they're narcissists, and you're going to find out eventually, but then, well, it's going to be too late. So what is it about narcissists that they can be so charming and so disarming? Number 6 is, you may notice that these people will focus on gathering data. Now, they may not explicitly ask you very specific questions. Sometimes they do that, but other times they just listen. And they're waiting for you to volunteer information about yourself and about your past, and about your family, and about who your friends are, and who took advantage of you in the past, and all these things they are collecting in their minds. And again, they may not be asking you these things, but believe me, they are listening for them. So you may not even notice they're doing it, but if people are kind of nosy, about your past, and just obsessed about it, because, you should check into people's past. That's not a bad thing, but these people just obsessively, compulsively want to know all the bad things about you, not just the good things, but the bad things about you. Okay, that could be a narcissist. Maybe not. Could be just somebody's interested. Could be someone's just being careful. But that's something that a narcissist will do because, well, they're going to use that against you during the smear campaign. So they're being charming. You're wondering, what happened? This person was charming. Well, you thought they were because that was a front, but what we sometimes miss is they're doing these other things simultaneously, and we're so blown away by their splendid personality, by their wonderfulness and their good friendship, that we just overlook some of these things that really just kind of obvious. Well, number 7 is just take a look at someone's life approach, or maybe we could say worldview. How is it that they approach life? Typically, a narcissist will not have a good job. Now, people who bounce around job to job, they're not always narcissists. Some of them, it's personality difficulty. Some of them, they have some other maybe neurological problems. So don't just write off everyone who has difficulty keeping a job as being a narcissist. But I've known a few narcissists who stay employed in one place for, their entire or almost their entire adult life, but that's very rare. Most of these people don't like to be employed because they don't like to be controlled. Because, well, they're narcissists. Narcissists don't like to be controlled. So if their approach to life is kind of haphazard, by that I mean their idea of looking into the future and making future plans is what they're going to have for dinner tonight. And it doesn't go much farther than that. They're not concerned about retirement. They're not really concerned about putting away money for their children. They may say something now and again about their kids because narcissists tend to be very, at least the ones I've met, very defensive of their immediate family. Outside of that, they don't care about anybody. But their family is special because it's their family. That's understandable, but it seems to be ubiquitous among narcissists. So the point of all that is their approach to life in general is, well, let's call it haphazard. They're just not really grounded. They seem to be floating around. Most narcissists I know, I was going to say they're floating around, but most narcissists I know, they move a lot. We're talking 3 to 6 months, sometimes a whole year. They will go from one place to one place, from one place to one place. Why? Because, well, a lot of these people don't like to pay the rent. What happens when you don't pay your rent? Well, after about 6 months, it's time to go because you're being evicted. And the landlords usually figure that out after about 3 months, so they begin the eviction process in 6 months, and they're out the door, and all this time they're looking for another place. That doesn't apply to every narcissist, but I've seen that as a pattern. But in general, we're talking about what is this person's life approach? Is this person grounded? And again, that's not to say that everyone who isn't grounded is a narcissist, but it is to say it's very typical of people not to be grounded. So if you have this guy in your life or this woman who seems to be just charming and just really, really good friend, but they're not grounded, you may sit back and think about this and look for some of these other indicators. And if several of them are present at once, even if it's not a narcissist, could be just a person who's kind of a loose cannon or got a screw loose, still might be a person to stay away from. But my best guess is chances are you're dealing with a narcissist and they are going to burn you. Believe me, it's coming if it's a narcissist because, well, that's just what they do. 2 rectangles on the screen. If you want this conversation to continue, all you got to do is click one of those 2 rectangles. We keep talking. If not, thanks for stopping by, and we will see you all next time.